welcome to the game of Lady Blackbird with the Intercontinental Group of Awesome. I will begin with the opening crawl for our game. Lady Blackbird is on the run from an arranged marriage to Count Carlowe. She hired a smuggler skyship, the Owl, to take her from her palace on the Imperial world of Ilysium to the far reaches of the Remnants, so she could be with her once secret lover, the pirate king Uriah Flint. However, just before reaching the halfway point of Haven, the Owl was pursued and captured by the Imperial cruiser Hand of Sorrow, under charges of flying a false flag. Even now, Lady Blackbird, her bodyguard, and the crew of the Owl are detained in the brig, while the commander of the cruiser, Captain Hollas, runs the smuggler ship's registry over the wireless. It's only a matter of time before they discover the outstanding warrants and learn that the Owl is owned by none other than the infamous outcast, Cyrus Vance. How will Lady Blackbird and the others escape the Hand of Sorrow? What dangers lie in their path? Will they be able to find the secret lair of the Pirate King? If they do, will Uriah Flint accept Lady Blackbird as his bride? By the time they get there, will she want them to? And so we begin Lady Blackbird. Player characters that we have Naomi Bishop, we have Natasha Siri, we have Cale Arkham, and we have Snargle. So the Captain Cyrus Vance is a non-player character in this game. I'm going to ask a couple of questions as we bring up the scene in the brig itself. First, Naomi Bishop, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you look like? And how are you dressed?
I think I'm not particularly tall. A mid-20s woman. I think I have been dressed so I wouldn't stand out in court. I'm reasonably refinedly dressed, but there is a hints of a past, like little scars. Nothing that's like across the face or anything, but there's hints of a battle about a person.
Nice. So inner 20s, not obviously scarred or horrifically maimed by her experience as a pit fighter before she became the bodyguard of Lady Blackbird. Speaking of Lady Blackbird, Natasha Siri, I noticed that your nameplate, your lower third there says Natasha Siri.
It sure does.
Are you in disguise? Does the crew, Snargle and Cale Arkham, do they know that you are the Lady Blackbird?
Oh, heck no. Heck no. She's actually dressed as, to her, it's probably what she would consider like good ragged disguise clothes, but to really anyone else, it's probably like upper middle class clothes.
That's great. That's really great. Now, how did the Lady Blackbird hire the Owl? How did she arrange this? Do you have any general idea? Is this a thing where she worked through channels, or did she actually do it, or send off Natasha or Naomi to do this?
She sent off Naomi to do it because Naomi would know people like this. Surely.
Cool. All right. Good. And then, what is other than clothes? What is it that we generally know of Natasha Siri? How does she look? What's her general age?
So she's quite young. She's probably about 18. And she's got the big innocent eyes. She's not wearing any obvious jewelry. But she her skin, it's kind of like a tanner skin, but it's very soft and obviously not used to hard labor, and she looks very pampered in spite of trying to dress down.
What has her general attitude been? Because you guys have been from Ilysium to your halfway point of Haven. You've been on the ship for a few weeks now. What's your general attitude been, Natasha, towards this experience and towards the crew?
polite interest, but mostly she's looking at them as a means to get somewhere. So she doesn't really need to know too much about them. But she's been polite enough.
Nice. Cool. Thank you. Kale. Tell us a little bit about Kale Arkham. What's he look like? What's he about?
Well, looks-wise, I'm going to make this real easy for everybody. That's what I look like right there.
All right.
We do that, but let's do it this time. And what he's about, it would be very clear to anybody that he is very loyal to the captain, but he is also kind of he likes to grab things that are left lying around. So we'll see where that goes. And he's kind of standoffish toward the younger of his two passengers. And pretty much doesn't spend much time in their presence unless it's necessary.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll have to keep that in mind. Thank you, Kale. Last but not least, we have the pilot of the Owl, the goblin known as Snargle. Snargle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Snargle is not just normal. He average size, clothes, whatever people give me. Anything fine. Snargle simple goblin.
Very cool.
But amazing pilot.
Now, Snargle, question about goblins. Are there a lot of you here?
Snargle not see many. I come from large family, but I not see all my brothers and sisters for a long time.
And why is that? Because you're on the Owl, or are they on somewhere else within the wild?
Because not enough food to feed us. I have 122 brothers, but so not a lot of food. So I become pilot to get food.
Do you send food back, or is it just...
And not need to send food back? No good when it go get back. So I eat food.
All right. Cool. When we pick up, the four of you are all in the brig. Let me show you a little map I have made. Okay. You are currently in jail cell number 4. Oh, can you not see it? There we are. There we are. Jail cell number 4. The jail cell is a series of bars with some cross pieces across. They are opened and closed via a pneumatic set of dials and toggles over here at this control panel, which is on the other side of this very stout wall. The door here is a giant cog that can roll inside the wall itself, so it rolls back and forth. Within this cog there is a small glass plate that the guards, who are all here, that they can look through to make sure that nobody is messing around. There are a total of 3 guards, but there are a couple of other soldiers who are here because they were all playing cards at this very nice stout oak table. They brought you guys in. They threw all of your gear into this storage locker. All of it. They checked you all very thoroughly. I'm sure they got everything from Kale Arkham. All of his stuff, because, you know, he doesn't hide anything. So all of your gear and niceties and weapons are thrown in this storage locker. They have their own gun rack where their rifles are locked away, and then they are currently sitting here playing poker while you guys are in jail cell number 4. There are only 4 cots in here, but there are 5 of you. One of you doesn't get to lay down. The first question that I have is, Naomi, I want to know, how is it though that the Imperials took you alive?
I think on our... did they get us when we were traveling? Or...
Yes. Yes, so you guys have a transponder code. It's effectively your flag. Right. And they hailed you. You guys responded with your information. They said prepare to be boarded. Captain Vance came over the wireless and told everybody over the loudspeakers within the owl, hey, we're going to be boarded. This shouldn't take very long. We could try to resist, but we'll probably be shot out of the sky. And I kind of like my skyship, so here we go. I've got a few people. I know we can get past this. And then all of a sudden now you're all in the brig. Did not go as planned.
Okay. I think they got the lady at gunpoint when I was pummeling someone, and yeah,
Nice.
I go willingly.
Kale.
I knocked the guy out first.
Well, yes.
Just to prove a point, and then I hands up.
Kale, have you ever seen anything like the way that Naomi fights?
No, that's pretty damn impressive.
Sweet.
I mean, I thought I'd seen a lot of things, but that little ball of energy is wow.
Oh, does Naomi wear a dress? You said that she was trying to pose normal. Does she wear a dress, or is she wearing slacks?
Well, she's not really posing as normal. It's a little bit more like it's probably more on the masculine side of court fashion, but I think it's probably been custom made or custom ordered by the lady, so it is a bit more feminine, but it allows me to move and fight.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So the 5 of you are currently in the brig. Captain Vance is pacing, and I'm imagining Captain Vance. He has like the Imperial blue pants with a red stripe and high leather boots, but then top up is just like regular white shirt with like a black vest kind of thing, and of course he doesn't have his gun belt. He also has, like a cap. He looks pretty nervous. Kale, we really need to get out of here. We need to get out pretty quick to make sure that Natasha and Naomi are safe. We will resume this trip. Don't worry, it's just unforeseen delay, ladies. So don't fret. We'll get you out of this soon. Kale, what can you do? Snargle, any ideas?
Well, I can. I think I can get us through these bars. That's step 1. And then we'll see about getting from there, okay?
Milady, I don't think they know what they're doing.
So I'm going to walk right up to the bar, and I'm going to put my hands on the bars to the cell, and yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my hands on the bars of the cell, and then everybody else will just hear a sound that's kind of like... So, this is me using a shatter spell.
Oh, wow.
To shatter the molecular structure of these bars.
So let me ask you a question, Kale, before we do this. I imagine that metal shattering is not a quiet and subtle act.
I imagine that's probably true.
Okay. Just making sure. I'm going to call this I think it'd be fair if we call this a difficult action. So you're going to need 3 successes. So let's build that pool, Kale.
All right, well, let's see. We have the try. We have the petty magic. We have the shatter spell. And let's add 4 pool dice to that for a total of 7.
Got a good chance with that.
And these are
Ready?
D6s,
Behind me.
correct?
What's your question, Naomi?
D6s, right?
Yes.
Okay, 7d6. Roll those puppies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, damn!
Told you guys, Dice Stream is very, it's been pretty nice lately.
So if the number of successes helps me narrate
Yes.
the issue around the noise, what I'd like to be able to do is to use the number of successes to declare that I was able to actually focus the energy of the spell around the edges to the point where it's not actually just going to completely shatter all the iron into little shards, but that it's like everything rusts around the outer edge, and then we're able to like pull it out. You know, I mean, it's still probably going to make some noise. I'm not suggesting that this happens in complete
Sure.
silence.
I think that's cool that you actually have a little bit of control. You pull it off. So, what does this look like? What do? We lost Natasha. Let's hang tight for just a minute because I had a question for Natasha. You back? Wait. No. Yes. No.
She's there.
Cool. She's back. Okay. Cool. What does this look like when Kale does this spell? What does everybody else see?
You want me to say that?
Yeah. I mean, sure. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was misunderstanding you. Okay,
Sorry about
yeah. No, it just like I said, I walk up to the bars, I give it a raspberry, and all of a sudden the edges of the bars seem to rust within a matter of 2 or 3 seconds to the point where I can start shaking them and then just pull them right off.
Neat. Now, Natasha, I am curious. This thing that Kale, this trick he just pulled off of rusting the bars magically. How does magic? Because I notice here when I look at Natasha's sheet, she has Storm-Blooded, and then it takes the entire secret to cast magic. You've got all this master sorcerer stuff going on here. He just pulled off a little, cantripy type deal. How does magic work in this world? Do you need to be blooded to pull off the big magic, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's a very closely guarded Imperial nobility thing. So you don't just see, engineers off of random smuggling ships pulling out magic.
Nice.
I mean, I assume I've never done this before.
So yeah, how does Natasha react when Kale starts casually pulling the bars off as he's done this weird raspberry trick?
So I think she at first looks stunned, and then she kind of grabs Naomi kind of by the arm, and she's like, "That was magic. He knows magic. How is that even possible?"
Do you say that loud enough that other people can hear it?
It's more hushed, so it depends how much attention you're paying. I mean, it's a tiny little brig, right? We're all pretty tightly packed in there, but so she's not that far away, but it is more hushed.
So yeah. Well, I am going to quip like when I'm holding this thing in my hand. I'm like, wow, that was you would think that that an Imperial cruiser would maintain its brig better than that. That was just look, it's all rusty and crazy. So I just kind of gently set it down on the ground, and now we have a hole. And magic? No, no. That was just a weak-ass bunch of bars. Anybody could have done that.
Yeah.
I have seen some of the. Occasionally, there are people with parlor tricks. It's nothing like your magic, lady. Just street tricks.
Well,
Her grip kind of loosens a little bit, but she's still like glaring at him suspiciously.
Vance tries to step in and say, "Hey, Captain Hollas runs a pretty shoddy ship. Don't worry, we're on our way here, ladies. Like I said, Snargle, can you hop through those bars? We probably need to be on the quick here." I don't think that was terribly quiet.
Sure, Snargle can. I would. You said the door is some kind of here. I don't see that there's probably any way for me to open this up.
Okay, hold on just a sec. I'll throw you a link to that I'd shown before. So what you have here is, you're going to need to do something to try to get on the other side of that cog door.
Mm-hmm.
It does go in and seal. Now there are pneumatic controls here. You could also try to distract the guards, get them to come in. There might be a way that you can tunnel through. I'm not sure.
You mentioned a window. Is it small enough that people of our crew could stand on either side of it and not be noticed if they're right up against the wall?
Yes.
Okay. I will indicate. Okay. Okay. Good in character. Snorkel will distract guards. Be ready. And as soon as I guess they're in place, I'm gonna jump up onto the window and like stare through the glass at the guards and knock on it and like wave at them and smile really big.
Okay, Naomi is now like trying, put her hands on some of the bars, feeling them, and then choosing whichever one she feels is the weakest. She's going to try and pry it out.
Cool.
Probably one near the way the lock was.
I like it. First of all, Snargle, I'm going to give you an experience point for hitting Kia Banter, because I think you made a couple of us chuckle with the idea of you hopping up to the window.
Okay.
It is not hard to distract the guards when your big goblin eyes are staring at them through the glass plate and you're banging on the window. So you see the 5 of the guys are in there playing poker. One guy was raking in a whole bunch of chips, right? He had evidently, Bill had just won a round, and they all look up, and you see them mouth a couple words, and there are people, the guys are basically pulling out billy clubs and heading for the door. One guy is headed over towards the control panel, and they're going to start opening up that cog door right now. Naomi, when you test those bars, they are weakened by Kale's spell. You can pry those open and step out if you wish. Vance says, young lady, I know you seem to be an excellent fighter, but you should stay back. I think we've got this. We're your crew, right? You hired us. We're fine.
I kind of look at him for a second and then just like tug the bar so it's like loose. So I've actually got a club and then go stand by the gear door.
Nice.
To one side.
All right. So the cog door is going to open up. Natasha, are you staying inside the cell? Kale, are you staying inside the cell?
No.
Ooh.
It's much safer to be closer to Naomi.
You're so cute.
Did they just both try to push through the gap at the same time?
No. As soon as, like, when the cog starts to roll to the side, as soon as there's a gap in the bottom, like, left corner, as the thing starts to roll, I'm gonna like do a head first dive slide through that opening as it's opening to where I will end up at the feet of the people who are standing near the door, and I will stab one of them in the foot.
Oh, it's a
with
little
my
far.
well-concealed
That's
knife.
your intention. Whoa. Take a break. Cool. So your intention is to dive through and attack these guys with some dagger that they totally checked you for, but you happen to have because you've got secret of concealment. And
That is correct.
All right. So that's your intention. Naomi, you're standing in the hallway with Natasha behind you. Vance is going to stand somewhat beside you, but maybe slightly in front of you. Or are you actually going to rush the door, Naomi?
I'm going to wait until somebody steps through. I think.
Okay.
I'm hoping I kind of
Okay, so we
slide
have Snargle and Kale trying to get through the doors, right? Because or is Snargle waiting for them to come in as well, but he's doing it near the cog door.
Yeah, I think I was. Yeah, I was trying to get him to come in so everyone could hit him. So yeah, I'll probably stay inside until I have an
You're a
opportunity.
lure, and Kale's just trying to dash in. Okay, got it. Got the ideas. We have a few people standing in the hallway. We have Snargle trying to lead them towards those people. Kale, however, is going to sneak around, do his little sneaky thing, and get in time. That sounds fantastic. Kale, why don't you give me a difficulty 3? If you succeed, you can make it through, and if you hit 4 successes, you can make it through and actually whip out that dagger and stab somebody, and while others are streaming past you to try to take out the other prisoner.
All right. I am going to try something. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be quick. I'm going to try tumbling, escaping. It'll involve some contortion. And it's dirty fighting.
How is it involving contortion?
I'm contorting myself through an opening in the bottom before it completely opens.
All right. Okay. All right. Cool.
You're right. That's probably a little bit much. Let's go with 6 dice instead.
Okay. 6. You got a difficulty of 3 to kind of get through while they're streaming past. If you get 4 successes, then you've effectively attacked and you're disabling one of the guards.
I'm going to use 2 pool dice.
Okay. Total of 8 dice you're rolling.
That's
See how
correct. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew! Barely made it, but I got 4 successes.
All right. So, one of the guys was back at the table. That's the one that you get through past. 3 guards are coming past you, Kale, because you just squid past them real quick. And so there are 3 guys that are rushing towards Snargle, trying to grasp him, while Naomi and Captain Vance are there in the hallway to protect you, Snargle, keep you from getting smashed because you're kind of an important pilot. Cool. Kale, you stab your guy. It's dirty fighting, so you catch him in the liver.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
No. What were you doing? I thought you said
No,
you were
my intent. I mean, see, because the way I envisioned it is that I'd be like down on the ground sliding, so that I would slide into their feet, and then like stab one of them in the foot.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Cool.
Not actually attempting to do serious harm, but to just like make somebody go maybe drop their
Awesome.
club,
Love it.
whatever,
I prefer
that.
that. That's much better than my idea. So yeah, dirty fighting, taking a guy in the foot, that's fantastic. So you stab in the ground. It's like an apple dumpling gang type move. Stab the guy in his foot, stuck to the deck, and then the other 3 guys come streaming past, and one of them looks at you, Naomi, and says, "Oh, I won money on you. She's a good fighter. I can take her though." And he starts moving forward. He's doing the gentlemanly, he's got his fists out like that, and he starts scooting forward. Naomi, what do you do?
Okay, I want to basically dispose of him in just like as an afterthought and like take somebody out as well.
Oh, he's not.
He's not even. He's barely registered, but I'll take him out.
Okay.
Else.
It's difficulty 3 to fight these guys.
Yep. Let's bring.
Is Snargle doing anything other than luring them out? Like, is he going to snap back around and do anything, or is he letting Naomi take care of this?
Okay. It's,
I think I'm waiting for my opportunity right now.
Okay.
Pit fighter. It's 1 for Naomi, 1 for pit fighter, and then
And then head down the trags underneath.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. Combat tested. Brutal.
Yeah.
Living weapon. Fast and hard.
I think all of those apply.
I'll put one in from her pool.
Okay. Is Natasha helping at all, or is she just confident that Naomi has this?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say she was confident she had it.
Oh my
You lied about dice stream being You lied.
Yo, idiot, 2 successes? Oh, that's what you pulled off? That is pretty nasty. Okay. Before I narrate your failure and you get your pool die plus 1 back, is there anything you want to do to roll, Naomi?
So...
No, I'm sorry. Naomi. Naomi has a secret. I just want to know if you want to use that secret.
Oh,
I think so.
yes, I do want to reroll. So I can reroll the whole thing?
Once per session, you can reroll a failure when protecting someone. So you can reroll
I
the
want
whole
to do
thing.
that.
Good call.
How many did I have to roll? I had 8, including. Does the pool die get rerolled as well?
All of it's rerolled.
Okay. That's what I went to roll. The last one was a mistake.
Yes. There we go. The other was just a practice run.
Yeah.
Nice. That's fantastic. Yes. So you take out these guys, all 3 of them. How is it that what do we see in this brief fight sequence from Naomi?
I kind of like. He does like a crappy boxing punch, and I kind of just step down to the side and basically hook a foot on his foot and just bring it up so he basically face plants, knocking himself out on the ground. And then I kind of step in and just butt of the lead of the pipe or bar into the face of one, and then just swing back on the other one.
Nice. I love it.
Knock him out.
Vance was there, ready to help, but he didn't want to get in the way. So.
And then I turn around and hold out a hand to the lady and so to help her step over the unconscious guys.
Okay, cool. So you KO these guys and that's it? Like, now we're going to move on? You're cool with that? No vengeance?
They're not nobles.
Nice.
They're just guards.
They're just thugs. Sweet. So back inside the at the card table, those were 3 guys. There is one guy who stayed at the card table and was it was Bill. He was raking in all of those chips. He has not been harmed at all, and now he sees what's going on. Kale, you're in that room by yourself with the other guy who you stabbed in the foot. Guy who stabbed you in the foot, he's going to grab you and try to wrestle you to the ground, while Bill is going to run over and go to the control panel and try to raise the alarm. What do you do, Kale?
Okay, well, to be fair, I was...
Snargle might have a thing, too.
Oh. To be fair, I was already on the ground.
Right.
In terms of...
Well, he was just like fall on top of you kind of thing.
Yeah, well... I'm going to continue to use tricky, dirty fighting and tumbling around to beat this guy down and also, if possible... stop the other guy from going to the control panel. So maybe the idea is that I kick the guy in the groin who's trying to jump on me and maybe try to toss him in the general direction of the other guy so that he gets in the way.
Okay, cool.
But then let's let Snargle see what Snargle was going to do. Do you want? Or do you want me to go ahead and roll?
How about this? Why don't we see what Snargle wants to do, and maybe one of you guys is helping the other, and we'll let someone lead the role, and the other person help the other. So what's Snargle's intention here? You kind of the 3 you led them in. Naomi took care of the light work there, and now you're free. But you see that one guy's going to try to raise the alarm by going to the control panel. What do you do?
And not knowing how Kel is going to respond, Snargle will leap at the guy running to the controls, just leap at his face, and start just biting his nose.
Okay, cool. I think that sounds like 2 separate actions, right? two different things going on. So let's have Kale attack the guy that he's already stabbed. That's going to be a difficulty of 2 to defeat him. Snargle, you've got a guy who's effectively kind of fresh, so it's a difficulty of 3, and if you succeed, then he's incapacitated, bitten, and face clawed.
Okay, so try.
So Kale, go ahead and build your pool.
I'm building it. Okay. Dirty fighting. Okay. I'm going to use my last pool, guys. I'm going to need a refresher soon. Oh my god! I have 1 success. I guess I get a pool dice back.
Man, yeah, you get that pool die back. It's not looking great for you. Now, do you want to do anything? Because you're kind of using dexterity.
Well, because of the reflexes. Thank you, sir. Yes, I'm gonna re-roll that puppy.
Okay.
Let's try that one more time. All right. Come on, baby. Oh, 1, 2 successes.
Whew, squeak. Yeah, there's a moment where you're rolling around on the ground. This guy, he had a punch. He was going right for your face. He had to dodge just barely out of the way before you took him down. Let's see how Snargle fares.
Okay, I am triggering Goblin.
Yep, so
I am-
1 to start with, and then Goblin.
The Goblin. I am activating my secret of shape warping, so I'm enlarging myself. So I'm a bigger target as I land on his face. So that's warp shape, agile, quick, and teeth and claws.
Those all sound good.
And then throwing into dice pool, so I have 8.
Pretty good. 3 successes is what you need.
1, 2, 3.
I got a compliment dice stream coming into games with objects. This is stressful. I love this. So earlier this week, The Hand of Sorrow and the duty roster came out, and Bill was told that he had to work in the brig. He was really not super happy about it. But then he sat down and played this poker game earlier. He was raking it in. Really, he basically doubled his salary at this one poker game that you guys just interrupted. Then he thought, well, hey, I got to do my job. I'm going to go over to this control panel, push the panic button. That's when a crazed blue goblin jumps on his head and starts biting. He falls into the wall. He starts running, trying to throw you off of his head, and finally he falls. It trips over the table and slams into the ground. What do you do, Snargle, once he's down? How are you knocking him out? Do you mother him? What are you doing?
I think Snargle is wrapping. He's a little bit larger. He's wrapping it pretty much around his head, so he is smothering him and basically by his weight bringing him down to the ground. And he's just just shouting. Snargle just want a pilot. As he brings him down to the ground.
Okay, cool. So he's down. All of the people that you guys were fighting, all 5 of the guards are either incapacitated or unconscious. What do you do now? What do you do, Natasha? You haven't had a whole lot going on, so Naomi led you into the main area. You're protected. What are you doing?
Do we know that cabinet is where they put all of our things?
Yes.
I totally want my things. I like my things. I define myself with my things. I want to try to break into the cabinet.
Okay, cool. You know that they locked it. One of these 5 guys has the key, or you can literally break into it if you want to try to do that.
I suddenly feel the need to show off for no good reason at all. So I basically want to break into it with lightning, please and thank you. I don't know what kind of lock. I don't know if it's like an internal lock or an external lock, but I want to fry the heck out of the lock.
Okay. Yeah, here's the deal. It's 2 successes, and you fry that lock, and it opens up. If you get 3 successes, the contents within are still in good shape.
Oh, good. So no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Okay. Doing a thing. Master Sorcerer, spellcasting, channeling, Stormblood. Is Stormblood actually... Oh, here we go. Yes, that is right.
Yes.
And then lightning. 5, 6... And then I'm going to add 2 more from my pool.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 2 successes. It opened. That's good.
This is
I
amazing.
guess.
So when Natasha uses lightning, what does it look like?
Oh, it's very, very apparent. Like there's no... it's like she kind of closes her eyes and actually like there's this kind of gust of wind that comes out of nowhere, and she actually like hovers a few inches off the ground, and then there's lightning everywhere, and no, it's very apparent.
Oh wow! And this is a noble thing. You said it's a noble magic, so anybody throws down like this, if you've ever seen it before, yeah, you know what's up. So yeah, that happens. Lightning, does it come out of her hands, like all?
I think she kind of puts her hands together like this, and there's almost kind of like a cat's cradle of lightning.
Ooh, cool! I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, so the cat's cradle comes out. It hits the lock, and it kind of arches a couple times, and the lock fries and pops, and there's this like smoke that comes out, and some of the lightning arcs over the storage cabinet, which is a nice metal cabinet, so it's very conductive. When it opens up, you see there are several guards' uniforms that were lined up in the storage area. They're all like blackened, and there's smoke that billows out. All of your stuff is inside.
Just for cinematic effect, the camera quickly pans over to me, and I'm standing there holding the key. I'm like, okay, or that. Just drop it.
Nice. Cool. So Vance goes in. He grabs his 2. He's got a pair of shooters, pearl handle inlay. They're kind of nice. He puts on his little gun belt. Nice work there. Natasha, nice work there with your whatever it is you just did. He's cinching his belt on.
Yeah, she looks like someone just gave her a gold star. She's very content, and she may even be smirking in Kale's direction a little bit.
Sweet. All right, so now you guys have retrieved your stuff. You've got a moment to breathe. I'm going to run through keys real quick. I think we've hit some keys here. So first of all, Key of Paragon for Lady Natasha Siri. Sorry, Natasha Siri. Definitely Key of Paragon here. Not so much on the Key of the Imposter, but hey. Naomi Bishop, Key of Vengeance and Key of Guardian. Do you think we hit Key of Warrior as well? I don't know. I think so.
That guy wasn't tough.
All right.
He's cocky, and he just went down.
They weren't
such
worth
a simple
it. All right.
maneuver.
And then let's go to Kale Arkham, Key of the Mission.
But I was also going to ask, you said chips both times you were talking about the poker game.
I did.
Are they chips, or are they playing with money?
I would imagine they would have to be playing with a little bit of money. He doubled his salary. It's not like there's like a house bank. So.
Well, I'm scooping some of that stuff into my pockets.
So let's ask a question then. The chips, like, what is the currency here? do we think they're like little coins that they have, or is it paper money?
Yeah, maybe like little brass rectangles that are like an inch on one side and then 2 inches on the other, and they have like an Imperial sigil.
Nice.
On one side, and then on the other side it tells the denomination of the chips, or the coinage. So they're not round though; they're sort of like a rectangle.
Cool. We just call it chits.
And yeah, that's what we would call them. Yes.
That way we can kind of tie in loosely to another John Harper game known as Ghost Lines, where they work for Chits. So we'll just call it Chits.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. Yeah, so you grab those. There's your key agreed. So key of mission, key of greed for you for that quick bit. And then Snargle, you earlier had gotten key of banter. I don't know. A dangerous situation, just throwing yourself up on the door without anybody else coming out for your back. I'll go key of daredevil for that one as well.
Okay.
So cool. Right. So now you guys have a moment. You were smart enough to not allow anybody to hit the panic button, so no one is aware that you have escaped the brig at this time. You've got 5 unconscious, incapacitated guards at your feet. Vance suggests, Kale, let's throw these guys into one of the unused brigs, the ones where the bars aren't quite as bad off.
Will do, sir.
And then he has Snargle. He has you open up the doors, and he's carrying some of the guys in with you, Kale. When he does, he asks you, Kale, what in the bloody blue blazes was that she just did?
Well, she used some lightning magic, I think.
Do you think? Have you seen that before? I've.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's get out of here, and then you and I'll have a talk once we get back on the ship. Okay? Because there's some things, obviously, that you need to know, and maybe it's time to tell you about them.
Okay. All right. Cool. So as Kale and Vance are talking and moving bodies, Natasha and Naomi and Snargle, you're in the main room there of the brig. You think that you're doing what you've re-equipped yourselves?
I think I'm standing kind of between everyone else and Naomi and Lady.
Okay.
Just kind of,
What were the guards armed with?
Oh, they have billy clubs. There are also rifles that are up in a rack.
She's gonna take a rifle.
All right.
Yeah.
How's she holding that? She hold it like with a great deal of skill, like kind of like this, or she hold it like over her shoulder, like she's really comfortable with it?
She actually looks very comfortable with it. In fact, when she takes it down, she does a real quick check on it to make sure it is in good operating, condition, and that it's loaded.
Yeah.
Naomi's been by her side on many a hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it's a bolt-action rifle kind of thing.
Oh yeah, totally. It has to be. It has to be.
There's you can have a cool bandolier of bullets. Kind of cool.
That would be pretty awesome.
I think when
Except
Natasha
it's flipping down, so she has to keep readjusting it because it's man-sized and she's tiny.
Her man-sized bandolier. It's awesome. No Chewy action going on here. What was Snargle doing?
When Natasha grabs a rifle, Snargle will also attempt to grab a rifle, but seeing the thing is taller than him, he fumbles with it and then just drops it and picks up a billy club.
Nice. Take an XP. That's very adorable. Kale and Vance, you come out. You closed in those guards. They are KO'd. They are disarmed. And I'm sure that Kale fills their pockets as well for more than just keys. Got that. Vance says, all right. We need to get to the Owl. The Owl still needs fuel. We were going to refuel in Haven. So we've got to get there. And we need to be concerned about pursuit. There are the biplanes that came out and brought us in. They have cannons, a number of large cannons that can be fired upon us once we fly out. I trust your ability to fly us past most of that, Snargle, but I'd like to get the odds more in our favor. So, that's what's laid before us. Ideas?
I could throw a monkey wrench into the works of some of their ability to chase after us once we get through the back end of the hangar bay.
All right.
I've got some ideas along those lines.
I'm not leading the lady's side.
Understood. The lady, though. Natasha, you have anything you'd like to share with us?
Natasha shoots a glare in Naomi's direction. Like an offended, haughty, like, I can't believe you just said that.
Well, it's not like she's... I mean, you've pretty much outed yourself here anyway, so I think maybe the time has come for you to just drop the act anyway and be straight up with everybody.
Fine. You get me to the ship. I'm pretty sure we can get out of here without being pursued.
Okay, then.
Very well. If the lady wants that, we're happy to. Yes, let's do that thing. My original thought was that we could pose as some guards, but unfortunately the uniforms are a little smoky. Don't. That's fine. We can make it work. We can make it work.
We have a cell full of guards. I'd prefer not to be the one who has to strip them, but...
Come on. That would be fun.
All right, Kale, can you take care of that?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Naomi, are you sure you don't want to like help with this? Because
No,
you know,
I'm sure.
hands make light the work.
I'm staying by the lady's side, as I said.
Okay.
Snargle, help him out. I'll work the controls here. He goes and he works on the pneumatic cell. Make sure they don't wake up. You know, thump them a couple more times if they move too much.
Aye, Captain. And Snargle will proceed to just go to each one and bop them on the head with the club, whether they've moved or not.
All right. So as we start to get these, Snargle and I get the uniforms off these guys. We're going back into the place where we put them. Snarg, buddy, we're gonna have to watch out for the captain. He's got that look in his eye. I've seen that look once or twice. He's completely flummoxed and bamboozled by that woman, and that is absolutely the worst thing that can be happening. So.
Is a bamboozle a spell?
It kind of is, actually, now that you mention it. It's a lot like that. So we need to unspell him, unbamboozle him, or keep him... Anyway, just be aware. And if I give you... Just be aware. Because, oh boy, I've seen that look in his eyes before, once or twice, and she's got him hooked. I don't even think he knows it. I'm pretty sure she doesn't know it. But it's happening. Because he doesn't usually trip over his words like that. So, we got trouble.
Okay. Snargle will start kind of like thumping the billy club in his other hand. Snargle will watch Captain's eyes.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we cut over to the exterior where Natasha has her rifle and Naomi's standing very near her, and Captain Vance walks over and he says, Natasha, I have to say I was very impressed with what... I've met some nobles in my day, and whatever you need, we are still your crew. Whatever you need, I'll make sure that you get that. But that was impressive. Yes.
She looks kind of confused. Thank you. That's all I expect.
How long have you known how to do a trick like that?
Oh, well, I think I was about 5 when it first started manifesting. And then obviously once it starts, you kind of have to deal with it. Otherwise, terrible things happen. That's kind of what happened to the moon clouds. I'm sure you heard about that. Everyone heard about that. I mean, you don't just burn down your entire manor and then no one knows about it.
Right. I knew a few fellows who were part of the brigade that tried to put out that fire. Water would not quench it. It was,
Lack of training.
Yeah, pretty unnatural, that fire. They called it hellfire. Not sure where that came from, but All right. Well, okay. Do you mind being a prisoner, Natasha?
And she looks a little bit
You are
taken
not
aback by
him.
that. She looks to Naomi.
I kind of like step in between and like ready to fight.
Nice. So let me ask a question of Natasha, because you know the most about the Imperials. The Imperial Navy. Do women serve in the Navy?
Women can serve as like officers, but it's not something like if you're expected to be like in a combat position, women are not allowed in those positions.
Okay, cool.
There are some very interesting rumors about women sneaking into said positions, but technically they're not supposed to be there.
So Captain Vance says, we're going to try to sneak through the ship. We are obtaining some uniforms, and none of them are officers' uniforms. Natasha, I'm sure that you could look like an officer, but you're far too beautiful to take on the guise of a man. I'm sorry. I just everyone would see how beautiful you are and know that.
And she's, oh, and bats her big eyes real big, and there's a little bit of a blush on her cheeks, and kind of looks away, and she's like, oh, I see. Well, I guess in that case, it's a very good idea.
And that's when Kale and Snargle, you guys come in, you hear her. Well, in case that's a good idea, and Captain Vance kind of takes like a moment, like a little breath there. Cool. So, what we have between Kale and Snargle, I am perfectly happy calling that a refresh scene. As you guys talked a little bit there.
Cool.
So if you want to refresh your pools, I know that both of you used a little bit. Oh, and then Snargle, when you come in, you see that the captain's eyes look just a little starry-eyed there.
Yeah, I just think he approaches and kind of just is leaning in. Yeah. Just to get a view of his eyes.
All right. So Vance suggests the ladies, no offense, ladies, two of you will be our prisoners. We are going to pose as guards and march you down to the owl. I think the cover story we go with here is that you need to retrieve something. We'll bank on the fact that you are ladies and try to use that to our advantage. So you need to retrieve something from the owl. I'm not... Kale, ideas? What could they be retrieving?
Who? What now?
Kale. We're going to escort the ladies. We're going to pose as guards. We're going to escort the ladies down to the hangar. I'm thinking that we tell the officer on deck that they have to retrieve something from the owl. I'm at a loss what they're going to retrieve. Any ideas?
Well, you see, it's because this prisoner right here, I'm pointing at Naomi. This prisoner right here, we managed to get her to crack, and they are in fact hiding some contraband in a panel underneath the floor of this pirate ship, as we suspected. And so we're going to go in there, and she's going to do the thing that she's supposed to do to open that panel.
I like it. What do you think? Natasha, do you mind? Natasha, Naomi, do you mind if you're the... Does that work?
Have you been in our room?
No, I haven't been in your room. It's a ruse. It's a ruse to get us back onto the ship.
Technically, it's our room. We own the owl. But no one has been in your room looking at anything in your room. No one has.
Cyrus? Seriously. Okay,
Are there any handcuffs or anything?
Oh, of course. Yeah, they're manacles.
Okay, I want to take a couple and like, I don't know, maybe using a bit of leverage of the metal pipe, break the chains so they can just be like held together at the wrists to look like we're hanging, because we're not being chained.
Oh, so what you guys have just seen is pretty fantastic. She just casually took a set of manacles and snapped them, like leaned against the bar, but just snapped them open. That is some, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Chains must be rusty.
Yeah, like the bars.
Like the bars. A hand was set to the lady.
What am I doing with these?
Put them around your wrists, and then you hold your wrists together like there's a chain between them. But there's not, see? It's just a pretend thing. It's part of the ruse.
Okay.
Just follow my lead. Do as.
Follow her lead. Yes, exactly.
It looks like it's a little bit of an effort for Natasha, but she tries.
All right, here's what we're going to do. You have you've laid out your plan. You're going to go with the pretend prisoner, the Chewie, effectively. You try to worm your way through the bowels of the ship to make it to the hangar, and the difficulty to sneak through the ship is 5. It is very difficult.
But I assume we get to do this collectively somehow?
Absolutely. What I think works the best is if one person is kind of the leader, and I don't think it should be Vance because he's not a player character. So you build up your pool, and then everyone who wants to assist can give a pool die to that lead character. I think Kale makes some sense here. I know that Naomi's actually pretty good at this stuff as well. So either one of you would probably make the most sense to me, but whatever you guys feel most inclined to do, we can work it out.
Well, I think as the fake prisoner, I don't think I can lead the way.
Okay, yeah, I'll take care of that aspect of it then. Let's see. Quick and escape under tricky, or quiet and perceptive under burglar.
Do we need to roll before he rolls, or do we need to announce that we're going to help?
There's no roll. Yeah, you just kick in a pool die.
Okay.
So everyone who wants to can kick in one pool die to help Kale once he's built his roll.
Alright, I think I'm going to go... I think tricky is more in the spirit of what we're doing, so I'm going to go with that. And tricky, so doing it, tricky, escape. And then 1, 2, 3. How about I use 4 of my pool?
I'll throw in a pull dice for crafty, just making sure.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you absolutely have one from Natasha as well.
There's 3 more
I
dice.
have my dice.
And Naomi, you're throwing in 1? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we got 10 dice. We should be alright. Well, but we still need 5 successes. Ha! This ought to be fun. Alright, let's try it. Bada bing! Oh.
That looks not great.
1, 2, 3, 4,
1,
5!
2.
Oh man.
Yes!
Wow.
Just
enough.
made it.
Paid off. Sweet. Cool. Okay, so this is an extended musical montage. We have like a jaunty little tune that's playing in the background. It's not quite Scooby-Doo, right? It's a jaunty tune, though. And you guys are marching through. We got the 3 prison guards. You have the pair, Naomi and Natasha. As you go through, there's a point of stress where like Kale has to talk to a group of Marines that stop and ask a couple questions, but he worms his way around that. Then you guys go on a little bit more. There's a point where you guys pass by, and then one person who was kind of in an alcove in a closet working on some stuff looks up and sees Snargle, who's posing as a prison guard, but he's still got bluish skin and has this look like, I don't think that's meets regs. And then you guys go on, and then you come into the hangar bay, right? And the hangar bay is this huge kind of space opera big, large thing. Half the right hand side is the hull of the ship, and there's a huge door that's open up. You can see the sky, the vast blue that stretches on, and there in the middle is the owl. Between the owl, there are a number of biplanes that are in various states of repair and disrepair. There are a number of them that are ready. They can kind of be flung out into the blue, out of the hangar through a neat little clockwork mechanism, right? To the left-hand side, that has a view over the entirety of the hangar, is a control tower that's up on a second story, or a second, because it's high. It takes up 2 whole decks, and so there's a series of ladders that lead up to a catwalk that go around to the control tower itself. There are at least a dozen engineers and mechanics that are working on the biplanes, and then there are a few that are crawling around and moving inside the owl. Snargle, I'm sorry to say that a few panels of the owl have been pulled off, like exterior panels, and it seems like this cover story of they've told us where they're hiding stuff, they're already trying to pour over the ship to find whatever has been smuggled on board. And so that is what all of you guys see.
My ship!
Very good. Take an XP for that one.
Oh,
Thought you sneezed for a second, but no, it was my ship. So that's what you guys see, and then we were going to cut to a commercial break. So we're going to take a 5-minute quick break here for us, and we'll pick it back up with you guys in the hangar.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Now we'll bring my next little picture that I made.
Just so that my family knows, what's our end time supposed to be?
Oh, we will be going for probably like another half hour.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, this is a short session. We started a little bit late. We're going to run a short session, and we'll finish up next week.
Excellent.
Right. So as I had described, you guys... Oh, wrong thing that I'm bringing up. There we go. As I had described, hopefully it made sense. You guys come in here at this doorway.
Okay.
And you came in on the ground floor area. Over here, there's some crates and supplies. There's an ammo dump over here. The barrels of petrol. We've got several. Got these 3 biplanes all here are lined up, ready to go. They're actually fastened, so a pilot could jump in and they get flung out and they could fly. Hey, it doesn't make sense for this person to be here, so they'd be here, and they would be here, and this would probably need to be here. Otherwise, the guy would get thrown into the wall, and that would suck. So let's say, with naval precision, that's how they're lined up. There we go. That looks better. It's a miracle. Over in the middle is the owl. You've got the control tower, and that's catwalks that lead up to it. Up on the second, these arrows are representing the ladders you can take between the catwalks and the main space of the hangar. Again, you're all here. I could create a "you are here" thing. It would have been kind of cool. Yeah, so that is where you are, and hopefully the camera will come back. No, it will not. I'll do another share, and then I'm going to unshare. Yes, that's the trick. That's how I make it go, guys. I'm smart with my technicals stuffs. What do you do?
Are
Okay,
we
well,
2 on the ship? I'm sorry, I forget where we
Oh,
left.
gotcha. So you just came out here. Are you going to follow through and try to just walk straight up to the owl and bring off? Sorry, that was a real good point. I kind of left the dangling participle there. Do you guys just want to kind of keep up the guys and head straight to the owl right now? Because you still need to refuel. And then you
Kale,
have to get off.
you're in the lead.
yeah. So I think that's we've got to follow through on this at this point. I think at least to get some people aboard the ship so that we can start spinning up the systems. Although obviously somebody else has to take the lead on figuring out how to fuel up. So Kale does not have any brilliant ideas about that aspect of it. So I'm gonna take the 2 prisoners aboard the ship because they're going to point out to me Oh wait, no. How about this? I take Naomi prisoner aboard the ship because she's the one who we supposedly got the information out of, and she's going to take me to the place where the secret panel that nobody could find unless she shows it to us is. And then the lady and Snargle and Captain Vance will stay outside the ship, and then that would be the point at which the lady can start doing this thing that she said, don't worry, once you get us to the hangar, everything will be fine.
Cool. So Kale and Naomi are going on board. Lady Natasha, Snargle, Vance, all outside. What?
I'm sorry. Snargle should come on board the ship too, now that I think about it, to start getting the pilot systems ready.
Okay. So I think that the general cursory going up to the ship, I like that as one roll. You guys got through the ship. I kind of want to see a little bit more play here once you actually physically get to the owl. If everybody's cool with that. So the intention is you walk up.
Before separating from the lady, I kind of move a bit closer to Captain Vance and just lean in. It's like, if she is hurt, 1,000-fold upon you.
Understood. I would never allow her to be harmed. I promise you.
And then Natasha, who is probably totally unaware that this just happened, kind of comes up next to Naomi and says, "Bring back the maroon purse in..." And she kind of glances at Kale, that panel that no one's supposed to know about in the floor of our room.
Yes, my lady.
Cool. Okay. Now, question about Snargle. Snargle, within your warp shape ability, one of the tags that you don't have is the mimic shape. So, does his color change when he warps shape?
Hmm.
So now you can change shape. Oh, it does say you can grow, change your shape, or change your skin color as well. How good is he at changing to look like a human?
I think at this point what it is it because it says or, I'm thinking it's shape or color. So I can change to look human, but I'm gonna still look blue. Or I can change the blue to look fleshy color, but I'm gonna be very short and goblin looking.
All right. Yeah. So what do we see? Are you bluish and basically trying to hide underneath the cap and in the uniform, or are you goblin?
Yeah, I think Snargle goes with that because he tries the first way and the suit pretty much drags the floor. His arms don't even reach the end of the cuff, and so he grows his shape to be the size of the uniform, but he's still very, very blue. And I'm trying to pull the hat down as far as I can, hold the collar up. If I am, I have a scarf wrapped around so you only see my eyes through. I look very, very warm.
And a little suspicious. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there are engineers here, and Kale, you're leading the charge as you're drawing Snargle and Naomi to bring inside. One of the engineers looks over and says, What's going on here? He steps down. He's in his pair of coveralls. He looks to you, Kale, because you got covered up guy and
Are we
lady.
Like into the ship or just outside it?
Good question. I think you're just outside the ship. There's a guy who was up. He was removing a panel. He was on top of the owl, and he sees you guys. He slides down. He's in a set of coveralls, and he kind of steps near the entrance. You haven't quite gotten on board. Natasha and Vance have hung back a little bit. They're slowly approaching, and that's when he asks, "What's going on here? I thought these prisoners were secured on the brig."
We got some intel out of this one here about the actual location of the contraband that we suspected they had all along. And
we've got that broken down. We found quite a bit here.
I don't think you got this broken down. She described a situation that was pretty clever and absolutely idiot-proof. And, you're an idiot. So we're going to take her on board, and she's going to show us what we need to know, and then we'll have them dead to rights. So that's the way it's going to work. So you need to move out of my way.
Oh, sweet. I think that is difficult to basically browbeat this guy into letting you on board, so we'll call that a difficulty of 3.
Okay. Difficulty of 3. Well, shit. So, the this is not burgling. All right, I'm going to try it. So that's 1 dice. And then I'm going to use up the 3 pool dice I've got. And that gives me 4 dice. I can use Tricky, so that gives me 5. But none of those tags really apply, so I'm just going to use the trait. So I have 5 dice at this point. My suspicion is that Naomi can probably help with something if she's willing to play act a little. But I don't know. I don't have her sheet, so I mean, and that's up to you, Alex.
Bring it up. I go to liars and yeah, I'll throw in a dice. I fake strain up to my chains and it's like.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Look.
I think. Is that cool with you, Rich?
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
I like it.
We're
It's
gonna
good
roll
color.
6 dice then. Let's see what happens. Hey-oh! 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Wow, that is back to it. So he looks over at you, Snargle, and he says, "You cold? Go on."
Yes.
I think that was bone dry anyway.
All right.
I guess
So
XP
we are
people
on
just
the
cracked
ship.
out Snargle. Cool. So they go on board. Meanwhile, Natasha, you're back there with Captain Vance, and he kind of crosses his arms. He stands near you, and he's looking at the owl, and he says, "She's a mighty fine ship, isn't she?"
Most of the ships I've traveled on are bigger.
Well, it's not the size that counts. It's the engine, the thrust, the maneuverability of the owl is. We have some special modifications.
Really? And have you been in a lot of situations where you've needed to use those modifications?
Quite a few. Not too many, but enough. Enough.
Well, I look forward to seeing what she can do.
So I know you're just a prisoner here, but I am curious. Why were you trying to go to the Remnants?
I'm meeting someone there.
It's not the normal place for a rendezvous.
He's
trying to-
not the normal sort of person.
Are you trying to meet up with some kind of pirate?
As a matter of fact.
Oh. All right. Well, you've paid your fare, so that's where we'll take you. This'll again. We're almost off the ship as it is. Hey, what do you think about trying to refuel the owl? You think we could?
If you tell me what to do.
Well, they're big barrels, and I really don't want you using that lightning thing on them. That could go not at all well.
That's not what I was talking about. I thought you'd have to put a hose or something in it.
Yes, indeed. That's exactly what you would do. Nothing past you, Natasha. Anyway, so we cut back. We cut back into the ship. You guys hop on board. There is one engineer who's into here. He's actually pulling up the one panel in Natasha and Naomi's room when you guys come in. He's like pulling it up, and looking inside.
Hand on the bagger's head, slam down.
He like pulls his. Whoa! You almost. Hey! Whoa! Get your
No, his
prisoner in
head.
check. Wait, what'd you
Just
say?
slamming his head down. It's
Oh, his head. I thought you were
just
saying.
like
Man.
not even breaking his head. Just
Yeah, it's that's not a die roll. That's a thing that Naomi does. So yeah, you just slam that guy's head into the panel, and he slumps over it. Snargle, Kale, you just saw this amazing act of violence.
Okay, well, that was, I mean, yeah, that's...
So what do you
that's
need to
a way go.
Careful with the chip.
Yeah, well, so why don't you go, Snargle, go ahead and start spinning up the ship systems, and hopefully we can get the refueling situation taken care of.
I'm going to see if there's any more people in this ship.
Yes, and bash their heads in, I take it. So, okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and do that thing you do.
I look at him, not breaking eye contact, take the little purple purse thing that's the lady wanted, pocket it into my clothing, and then leave the room. Still eyes on Kale.
Nice. Cool. So you guys can secure the ship. There were no other mechanics on board. You do need to handle refueling. Snargle, you're heading to the cockpit. Curious, Snargle. So this cockpit, is this goblin-sized? Like, what's the layout here?
It was fitted for a human, obviously, but since I'm the pilot, there's like a little wooden crate on the chair. There's wooden blocks on the foot pedals. There's sticks attached to any kind of levers or controls. So it's been extenders, goblin extenders actually is the technical term, have been attached to all the equipment.
Neat. So you're doing pre-flight checks, getting the steam engines started up, and Kale, after Naomi checks the interiors and finds there are no other Imperials on board, you guys still need to get fuel.
Yeah, I just, I mean, I don't know what it would be necessarily, but whatever it is, I will do the thing that needs to be done from inside the ship so that the fuel thing, like I have to release some sort of a clamp or some sort of a gizmo or something to make the little fuel spout come down from the back of the ship so that they can stick a... I do that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go outside again.
Okay. So you go back outside. There's that one engineer you basically said he was an idiot. He caught that. And he looks down when you come out and he says, hey, it sounds like she's starting to heat up. What's going on in there?
What now?
It sounds like this C9 is starting to heat up. I can hear it from outside as I am on top of the ship. I know I'm an idiot, prison guard. What's going on in there?
Well, I don't know. I mean, now that you mention it, you're right. Something weird is going on in there. Let's go back in there and see if we can figure out what that is.
Where's Tom?
He's in there with Jerry.
Who's Jerry?
The guy that's in there with Tom.
Slides off of the owl, and he's going to start walking away from the owl towards the control tower. What do you do? Natasha, you see this. There's like a little bit of an argument between the engineer and Kale, and this guy's now walking away from the owl, and it looks like he's trying to get the attention of the control tower, like he's waving his hands.
I clearly need to distract him.
Probably not a bad idea. How is it that you wish to distract him, Natasha?
I'm gonna kick myself for this later. So, so Natasha, she was wearing like this button-up blouse thing. She tears it open, exposing way too much skin, and then like slaps poor Cyrus because he's standing there, probably looking very confused. And she's like, "Don't touch me, you brute!"
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Did
awesome.
she forget the chain things between the hands?
Of course it does.
And then obviously put them back together.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I don't even want to die roll. That's so good. Cool. So he turns around, and I'll give you, by the way, take an XP for Key the Imposter there for pulling off a little bit of fakery. He turns around, and he walks over, and he goes, what? He slugs Vance in the gut.
Oh no.
And Vance is like in the middle of I just hit in the gut. He doubles over. Engineer's like, I don't understand what's going on here, but that's not how we treat our prisoners. I'm really sorry, ma'am. Listen, something's going on here with your fellow prisoner, that girl. I think she might be in a little bit of trouble. I'm going to get the Marines. We'll be right back.
I'm sure I can't be left alone with this man.
Vance walked over. He's like, yeah, I just can't help myself with the temptations.
You're
All
really
right.
not leaving me, are you?
Let's walk to the control tower together, okay?
While he's
Come on.
distracted, I'm going to come up from behind him and dirty fight his head into the panel of one of the panels of the ship.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, if you want to clock him, you've got a cheap shot. I'm going to call it difficulty of 2 to take him down. Difficulty of 3, and nobody else notices.
All right, excellent. Let's see here. We've got the try. We've got the tricky. We've got the dirty fighting. We're still trying to escape. And I'm going to do it quick. Okay. I have no pool dice, so we're going to...
Can I help?
Oh, of
Can I offer
course.
you a pool dice
The
to help?
distraction is certainly helpful, yes. So can she give me a pool dice? Okay. Let's see what happens. 3 successes. My God.
Man, you clock him. I imagine that you guys were moved back, right? You weren't right up on. So I'm thinking maybe you slam him into one of the wings of a biplane, right? Clock him that way. He sinks to the ground, and Vance catches him, and grunts a little bit, but he's able to help you get this guy off and done. So Vance says, great move, Natasha. I'm gonna get some fuel.
I'm so sorry. So sorry.
It's okay. He does this like gut holding run over towards the fuel barrels, and then he's going to start trying to attach a fuel hose. What are you guys doing?
Okay. I'm gonna.
Oh, I mean, if Kale wants to do it, that's fine. He is the captain.
No. I'm saying as Cyrus goes off to do that, I'm gonna take a quick moment to look her straight in the eye and say, "Look, you need to knock that off."
It's done as she's like trying to like pull the fabric back.
Messing with his head. You don't mess with his head, okay?
I'm not messing with anyone's head.
Look, I am here to get you to Flint. But
You are?
yes, I am. You want to be straight up with me? I'm going to be straight up with you. I know who you are. I've known who you were all along. And it is my job to get you to Flint safely and as quickly as possible. But in the meantime, do not mess with my friend's head. He is bamboozled right out the wazoo about you, and you're not doing a damn thing to shut that down, and you need to shut it down.
I just
Okay.
slapped him.
Yeah, that was the flirtiest slap I think I've ever seen in my life.
I've got the fuel. Go ahead and hook it up.
Fine. If you want me to stay in my room for the rest of the voyage, I will.
I never said that. But,
Well,
come
then
on.
I can't help him looking at me, can I?
Just don't make it any worse. That's all I'm asking. Let's keep our eyes on the prize here. You get to be with the man you really want to be with. Okay? We'll get you there. We'll get you there safe. Just, he's a good person. He's my friend. And I don't want to see him hurt again. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. That's fair, I guess. But maybe he's the one you should be talking to.
I will be trying that, trust me. But I could use a little assistance from your side of this interaction.
Okay.
That's all. I'm sorry, milady. I didn't mean to ruffle your fluffles. Just... Okay? Are we good?
Yeah. Where's Naomi?
She's inside making sure that anybody who finds out that we're trying to escape is sort of having their brains bashed all over the floor of the ship. She's doing her job, I guess you could say.
Did you bring out my purse?
I believe that she has a little purple thing in her hand that she's intending to bring to you, yes. Because that's probably the most important thing to worry about right now. And so I'm going to just go over and start helping Vance with the hoses and stuff.
Okay, cool. So
can that be a refresh scene?
Yeah, that's absolutely a refresh scene. That was a great refresh scene.
Okay.
Fantastic. Refresh pool, or if you want to get a secret back, you totally can. Inside, Naomi, once you've cleared the ship, you see Kale isn't around, Snargle's up front in the cockpit doing his thing, and you look out and you see that Natasha and Kale are having a conversation, but she looks like she's okay. She's totally forgotten the whole manacles thing. She's gesturing while talking. She's
Front of her shirt is ripped open, you know.
Shirt's slightly ripped open. Yeah, that doesn't look dangerous at all to you.
I think I would kind of get down to the where the opening. Oh, we got onto the owl.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's almost like one of the small planes where the door opens up and it's got stairs down, right? So you can kind of pop down those stairs. Kale's breaking over to help Vance finish fueling up.
I think I would get to the into the doorway of it, still in the shadows a bit, but kind of, and try and like make contact with a gesture towards the lady.
Oh, me.
Furiously trying to get her to get onto the ship.
Sweet. As you're doing that, Naomi, and looking out towards Natasha, she gets it. I assume, Natasha, you're starting to head towards the owl?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. As she starts, you see that there's a squad of Marines that are running, rifles at the ready, and they're running towards you.
Towards the lady.
Where's the owl? They're coming up from behind her. Like, they just come through the door of the hangar, and they're running across the long expanse past a couple biplanes, but it looks like they're running straight for the owl. Hey, stop!
Okay, instead of going down the steps, can I jump onto one of the biplanes that's nearby?
Sure, that sounds
I
crazy.
run along the wings, kind of like parallel in the direction.
Okay, cool. It's like, so as Natasha's headed towards the owl, you're going to run away from the owl on top of the biplane over the wings?
Yes.
That sounds amazing. I love that. Is your intention to engage the Marines?
Yes. I want to basically leap and land in the middle.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Okay, you want to fight a lot of Marines? It's going to take you 4 successes to take the squad down.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
gonna be
Kale, you've got this thing fueled up. Vance works on throwing a couple panels back on, saying stuff like, we don't know if we might end up in the lower depths. Snargle, you've got her started up. The fuel's coming in, so the engines are hot. And Natasha, you see that Naomi's run the other way. What are you doing, Natasha?
My purse!
Oh,
does Naomi have the purse?
I do have the purse, and I'm spending.
Are you going to be using that as a weapon? I'm just curious.
I'm spending two pool to bring it to 9, and can I, as I'm just about to leap, can I throw it without even looking in a direction?
If you get 5 successes, you get that purse right back to Natasha. Only 4 successes, it bounces onto the deck somewhere.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh man, you got your purse back.
Yeah. Perfectly. Where's my purse? Oh, it lands in her hand.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yes, you get hand delivered or toss delivered your purse there. Meanwhile, Naomi, you come flying off of the biplane. I totally see this in my head, right? This is an amazing action sequence. How does she fight? Does she fight kind of like Bruce Lee, like she goes from opponent to opponent, or is she just bowl over people?
It's all about hitting multiple opponents at once. I think I land in, grabbing one person by the neck and spinning around it like a neck hold, and with my legs hitting another couple of people, bringing the person down who I've got the neck. Probably managed to grab somebody with my feet at the same time, bring it down. Elbows and knees and headbutts everywhere.
Nice. I love it. Cool. That's really, really cool. So Kale, you've got her up and running. She's ready to go. You and Vance can get on board. Vance is coming over to you, Natasha, like, come on, we've got to go.
Yeah. Everybody on. Come on, quick. Let's get this done.
I thought the plan was to minimize the number of people following us.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You can do that. As we're flying away, you can minimize the number of people who are following us with one of your whiz-bang things.
Oh yeah. Do the lightning thing, Natasha. That'll be great.
Well, I was just going to bribe Captain Hollas to let us go.
Cut to elbows in somebody's jaw. Crunch.
I think it might be a little bit late for that, lady. We should just go.
Fine. This is the most disorganized rescue I've ever been part of.
Good feedback. We'll take notes, improve the plan next time we get captured. Let's go.
That's my old Vance. There you go.
Cool. And yeah, he's going to head on board. I'm sorry, what?
I was just, if Naomi, if it looks like she needs any help at any point, I'm going to assist if I could. But
Nice.
from the pilot seat with the owl.
How? I'm curious.
I would like to lift up the owl and just kind of side fly it, just to smack a few of the guards with the side of the ship.
You have to knock over the biplane she jumped over. You really want to beat the owl up?
I guess no, I don't want to damage the owl.
I think Naomi probably would be very happy for an exit strategy at some point.
Cool. So all you guys get on board. Vance goes, hey, Kale, need you up in the turrets. I'll take care of the engine.
Got it,
Natasha, bed down. Go ahead, buckle up. Unless you're doing your lightning thingy, then maybe you want to stand slightly outside of the owl. Slightly outside. No offense, but if that'd probably be to do that thing. Snargle, go pick her up. Naomi, she's over there with some dancing and fighting. So, yeah, Naomi, you dispatch this squad of Marines. You see up in the control room, there's one guy he's on his wireless. He's calling in some backup. There are pilots that are coming in. They're all trying to jump into their biplanes and start them up.
From that shot up in the control tower, I would love it to be just, you could see Naomi there scattered people around her, and her just kicking somebody unconscious, and just like looking up, and just a little nod to them, and then like spitting on the floor,
Nice.
walking away, turning her back to the tower.
Cool. So as we're coming up near the end of the session, I think what seems cool here is, unless you guys want to take any kind of action, like, does Natasha actually want to do anything here in the hangar before you guys take off? Unless we passed you there.
Nope.
All right, cool. So the owl takes off, and very quickly after that, 3 biplanes are going to take off behind you guys. Everybody's on board. You've got your fuel up, but you're going to be pursued. And I think that, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do we cut here, or do we want to lead to the roll to see if you get away from the hand of sorrow?
I'm wondering if to help Naomi get onto the ship, I moved the owl just so the hatchway is like right in front of her, and as we're taking off,
Nice.
that she can
I like
just
that.
leap from the deck or whatever.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, Naomi jumps and she climbs her way up, and you guys are on the ship, and we just shoot out of the hangar, and you're being pursued, and then up at the bridge, we cut away, and Captain Hollas is telling them to dial in the guns and go ahead, fire tracers, and take the owl down, take it out of the sky. That is on board. That is Captain Cyrus Vance. And the outcast, just go ahead and fire on sight. No longer will we need to capture them. We know who they are. Shoot to kill is what he screams over the wireless as those cannons start firing, and the owl shoots out of the hangar, and biplanes come zipping after it. I think maybe we need to hear a nice little cliffhanger of, will you get away from the hand of sorrow?
Okay.
Good point to pick it up.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Start again.
Cool. Unfortunately, we'll be -2 of the players, but we'll be +1 more player. So we'll swap out some people and rejigger how things are going to work, and we'll pick that up in the next week. So,
All right.
Andrea,
I can tell you right
Alex,
now, I'm going to use my 5 experience points to pick up the crew trait. I'm
cool.
going to do that right now.
Andrea and Alex, thank you so much for stepping in and playing. Sorry you can't make it next week, but that's totally cool. It was really fun playing with you all. I loved Lady Blackbird and Naomi, and your eyes are really, really pretty awesome.
Yeah, thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Sad that we won't be able to play next week, but
Yeah, it's okay. We'll go out and have our own adventure later, Alex.
Cool. All right, well, I'll stop broadcast here.